So without further delay, let's start the exercise. Yeah, let's start the exercise.
Yes, start the exercise. First to come, Wellx, please.
Yeah, so we start with Wellx, an interesting new kind of digital health proposition. Welcome on the stage.
Thank you very much.
I know that your co-founder was trying really hard to get in.
And he's coming, yeah.
Yes, he's coming finally. But I know that he has been 20 hours, 24 hours at the airport trying to get the ethereals up in green.
That's right, yeah. My time in the sun, right?
Yes, no, it's you. So let us see if we get the technology working. Yeah?
Yes, almost.
Yeah, we good?
I'll hand over
Awesome.
this.
Thank you very much.
You tell me if you click right. I click right. Are we good out there?
33.
Okay, the floor is yours.
Awesome, thank
You
you.
have 8 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you so much for being here. I have 8 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this as fluid as possible. My co-founder, like Lars mentions, wasn't able to come. We were supposed to do this together, so actually it could work in our favor because the story that I'm going to tell you next is it's a true story, and it's a story that's very close to our hearts. It's our story, and it's about how the idea and the concept came together. So let me jump straight in and talk to you about this. So Vaibhav is our CEO and my co-founder, and he was born into a family of insurance. So his father did insurance. The family talked about insurance at dinners and lunches and breakfasts. And at a very young age, 4, he used to go to school and talk about it. And then when he got to 4th grade is when he started writing about claims, making sentences and premiums. And when the rest of us were thinking of becoming astronauts and policemen and firemen, he was like, I'm going into insurance, right? So that's where the journey started for him. Very shortly after, he moved to Nigeria at a very young age. His dad got a senior leadership position in insurance in Nigeria. And the comfort time started from there, right? So he was living in this cushy lifestyle, enjoying the benefits of being the son of a corporate dad. Moved to Dubai, still very much in his youth, eating all that he could, living the incredible sedentary life that most of us kids from the region live, beautiful pizzas and burgers. And that's when it hit him. He realized he got fat, like really, really fat. Like I've seen photos and I see him now and I can't believe it, right? But that's when the mind started to take over, and what happened was he started down this road of transformation. Confidence took a huge hit, because when you're at that age and you're going to school and you have friends and you start getting bullied, you want to really make a difference. You want to make an impact. And so what he did was he started to apply to the top schools. He got into Ohio State. Very shortly after, he got accepted into INSEAD to pursue his master's, which is where he learned a very fundamental thought that INSEAD teaches, which is business as a force for good. But then just like the rest of us, at some point in our life, fell to the trap of corporate life, right? So we started working for an employer, started climbing the career ladder, and it came to a point where he realized, how am I bringing this greater good from what it is that I'm trying to achieve? And that's when it hit him. It's time to look for a purpose, and that's where I bumped into him, and we were able to build the concept of Wellx together. And that's where the concept was ultimately sort of conceived. We conceived this concept to be able to build healthier, happier, and more resilient communities, and we use insurance to be able to do that. So the Wellx ambition is essentially trying to reduce healthcare at a national spend, but we do that by prioritizing prevention over cure. We do that by building healthier communities, and we do that by driving customer engagement. And we exist in a market where we have real challenges. So you have health insurance premiums going up due to medical inflation, 10% year on year. You have lifestyle-related diseases, which is a real problem, and then you have sort of like the silent pandemic, obesity, which is a big problem, and more so in our kids. And other real challenges that all of this brings together is the stress on the healthcare system. But here's the challenge that a lot of us consumers on the other side of the fence really believe in or really feel on a day-to-day basis is we have no control over what those premiums are. It's almost like we go on a website, we know what our life is worth, we know what our health is worth, we pay that value, we look for the best deal, and then we move on. And that's a challenge that we're trying to break, right? We're trying to make or put the control back in the hands of the consumer, and we noticed when we started looking around the industry, when we started looking around the world, that people are already living hyper-personalized lives, right? So people, when they go to Netflix, they go to Facebook, they go to YouTube, they get what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. They consume products in a very personalized manner. And we thought, it's time we bring this to insurance. And we're doing this by, you wake up in the morning, you get a sleep score on your phone, you get a buzz on your phone saying, well done, you slept, you met 90%, 97% of your goal. Here's some cash back because you did so well. Well done, keep doing what you're doing, and you're gonna get better. And that's when the whole concept of Wellx was formed. So you have insurance hyper-personalized to the level where we've gotten an entire ecosystem of wearables, from the Whoop to the Apple Watch to Google Fitbit. We've got the wellness apps that are connected to the ecosystem, health coaches, gyms, and all of this feeds in to the Wellx health insurance product. And that's where the business is, because we do what we do by driving customer engagement through cashback incentivizations. We do it through wellness recommendations that are tailored and personalized to every single individual, and personalized premiums, giving that sense of control back to the consumer. Ultimately, in a day and age where customers engage more with wellness propositions, ideally, cost of insurance should come down, and that's what we've been able to achieve at Wellx. How we went about doing this, we put together an entire ecosystem. So we went back, we co-created the product with the reinsurers, found capacity, brought that capacity to believe in the concept, and then we went to market using existing providers in each market. So we looked at your top sort of insurance companies and then their brokers and their channels and their intermediaries and went to market with it. So pretty much product build, we're the product owners and we go to market through the B2B2C model. We continue to own customer engagement by providing them rewards every time they do something good. The opportunity is huge. I think that's one of the reasons we're all here. The insurance market is growing quite rapidly. Our TAM, only looking at the individual space, is $1.15 billion across the UAE and Saudi. Our customer proposition is very simple. In a very sort of heavy industry like insurance, when we went across and looked at what the consumers want, we noticed they want something simple, they want easy to understand, they want it to be as easily addressable as possible. So we put a proposition that was very simple and straightforward, fixed amounts of cash back for every good deed you do. Every time you take care of yourself, we'll give you 25, 75, 100, 125, 200 dirhams, and overall up to 2 months of your cash back as premium. And we took this to market as the region's first variation of a medical insurance product. So instead of talking about when you fall sick, we'll take care of you, we're saying stay well and we'll keep rewarding you. We'll completely flip the narrative on the concept. And we go to market through the B2C model, as we mentioned earlier. We also have a very strong embedded insurance proposition. So our entire ecosystem of wellness partners, and we believe this is where the future is. People will go to health providers or wellness providers to buy wellness or health insurance. And so we're embedding insurance across our entire ecosystem, and we have our own D2C onboarding platform. This particular product, by the way, already sells to the tune of $100 million in the UAE in terms of their individual medical product. Our secret sauce, and this is what sets us apart, is we've put together a team very early on, different backgrounds, but more importantly, with incredible depth of experience from various different industries. Technology roadmap has been, up until now, we've created our databases, we've got our AI ML models up and running that have started to learn what works for each and every consumer to be able to personalize the experience. And our application is well underway. You can see some of the screens rotating on the screen. And ultimately, we are driving towards an ambition to create an AI ML driven SaaS platform. And so we set out on this journey to be able to provide wellness at scale, because we understand that data only starts to work when you have enough of it. So we partnered with some of the world's leading providers in Whoop, wearable providers in Whoop. And we've also got Steppy that ran the Dubai 30/30 challenge last year. So the ability to handle scale, and we have 13 more ecosystem partners at this point. So we allow people to do what's good for them, and we give them the opportunity to pick the right wellness proposition that suits their requirements. Right, okay. So that's our recurring revenues. We've actually started in January. In February is when we went to market formally and officially. We did a lot of the sales early on ourselves, to a point where we've now partnered with an insurance company in the UAE that's taking the proposition to market, the B2C model. In fact, just yesterday the announcement went out where we went live with Salama. And the ask, so we've got a $2 million ask that we're at right now, which is our seed round. We're very much bootstrapped until now. We're looking for partners that are going to help us build and scale aligned to the ambition that we have. We're very stubborn on where we want to get, but we're very flexible in how we get there. So what we do have is the ability to rapidly expand in GCC countries. The opportunity is clearly there. And we're looking for an ecosystem in which to thrive. I think Lars touched upon this a number of times, that this is a very heavily or highly regulated market, and you need to find the right partners to be able to hit the right sort of notes as you go and grow. Ultimately, and this is where I close, our purpose is to see a day when insurers drop the umbrella and stop protecting rainy day to becoming an everyday partner, just like your friend and family, because ultimately when you fall sick, they're the ones that pick up the checks. And we as an insurance community need to start taking that position. We need to start providing hyper-personalized care. We need to focus on outcomes, because everyone's driven by what's the ultimate outcome of anything that I particularly do, right? And ultimately, continuously and constantly improve as we go along. Eventually, coming to a point where we're selling health and not limits. Thank you very much.
That was a very good presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lars.
You did overdraw your limits by 2 minutes.
I did, right, okay.
But fine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You have to be concrete, right? You have 8 minutes pitched and it's 10, so there are minus points. Thank you very much. So we have seen a really interesting digital health proposition. Now we switch gears. We do something similar, yeah, but we go to cars and mobility. Welcome on the stage. Autowiz. Thank you very much. You have 8 minutes, right? Please stay with the limits. Okay, perfect.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kamal Agarwal from Bangalore, India. Great to be here participating in this contest. So I'm co-founder of autowiz. As part of the Hackathon challenge, we looked at the mobility side of things, especially the question, how can we nudge customers to share their data, driving behavior data, in return for incentives? And the reason we picked that, we looked at it closely, is because it's close to our heart, because it deals with connected car data. And this is what we work with at autowiz. So essentially, stepping back a bit, looking at overall connected car opportunity, it's a huge opportunity. It's a big wave, along with electrification, autonomy. We're going to have around 50% of cars on road across the world connected to the cloud, which opens up a huge amount of possibilities to create new use cases, new experiences for car owners, for fleet owners, and new value being created. McKinsey estimates this could be around $750 billion of new value being created by 2030. But there are challenges along the way. And this is also disrupting the automotive value chain, OEMs, insurance, disrupting business models. But there are certain barriers we feel in achieving that value. And the three top amongst them, in our view, is A, the data of these connected cars is lying in silos. B, the data is not really being processed into insights which can be consumed by the ecosystem and by the end car owners. And C, which is related to the Hackathon challenge, customers, car owners may have issues in terms of sharing the data because of the privacy concerns. So these are the challenges we are trying to solve at autowiz with our vehicle data analytics platform. It's essentially an intelligent platform which enables sharing and monetization of car data with the consent, with the privacy concerns of the consumer addressed. So here's what we do. We basically take data from various sources coming from different types of connected devices, whether it could be OEM-fitted telematics devices, aftermarket, smartphone sensors, data which is location, sensor, video. We process them at scale on our platform, analyze it, create use cases and insights out of it, aggregate them in certain cases, and those insights are then fed to the ecosystem. So for example, an insurer is interested in driving behavior, my driving pattern. Used car platform is interested in knowing the condition of my vehicle. A servicing center is interested in knowing what's the prediction on the repair or the next possible repair offer I can give. Governments and municipalities are interested in aggregated data for traffic and congestion analysis. So the use cases are immense. What we are trying to do is to create those use cases, have them ready built so that ecosystem can consume them in the form of apps, in the form of APIs, but all with the vehicle owners' privacy and acceptance in mind. So we've created a bunch of SaaS applications on top of our platform. These are some screenshots of our apps which are live in action in our home market, India, and certain other emerging markets. This is connected car application for car owners, fleet management application for commercial vehicles. For insurers, we have smartphone telematics for usage-based insurance, automatic crash detection, which can be used for emergency response, for faster claim processing, and apps for aftermarket, for service centers to know the condition of the vehicle, for used car platforms to know the value of the vehicle based upon data. And this platform, as I said, is live. We have harnessed over 200 million kilometers of real driving data in India and some of the other markets across 10,000 cars. So coming back to the question of the challenge statement, how can we encourage customers to share their data? And this is our simple view on that. It's based upon trust and transparency. So we should have a simple model where, customers should be clear. Sorry about that. So the customer needs to be very clear about what data is being shared with which third party, for what purpose, and what possible benefit I may get out of that. Once they are clear and they have control, as simple control like in an app where I can switch on and off and access to my data to a particular third party, builds that trust and credibility. Talking about insurance, our platform has huge use cases for the insurance industry. Usage-based insurance, we're quite bullish on it. We heard in the panel earlier today, in several markets, with the regulatory environment becoming pervasive, COVID-19 also has accelerated acceptance of pay-as-you-drive. So we are providing variety of technology options, working with insurers and intermediaries to embed usage-based insurance with different technology options, whether through dongles, through smartphone, and so on. And the other angle we see, while UBI may be emerging in certain markets, or it may be a niche in certain markets, like the panelist in the morning said, there is another angle by which insurers can really harness this data to really engage digitally with the consumers. So car owners, if they are keeping an insurer app, they need some insights to come on a daily, weekly basis, which are personalized. You can use this data to create gamification and rewards. You can offer micro rewards based upon driving behavior, promote safe driving, essentially use the concept of behavioral economics, hyperbolic discounting, give small rewards along the way so the customer feels protected. So it's more like prevention before protection, and build loyalty over a period of time. So these are some of the things we are doing in our apps. We are also trying to combine telematics data with some of the fitness and health data to create interesting mashup of use cases. For example, an insurer could be interested in my driving behavior, but also my ability health-wise to drive in a certain scenario. And by combining that type of data in our platform, we could create those interesting mashups. A little bit about ourselves. So we are, a team which has been working together actually for the last 20 years. Prior to this startup in the InsurTech space, me and my co-founders were in the semiconductor space. We ran a startup for 13 years in a very frugal, profitable manner, sold that to a US company, generated 10x returns for our investors. And now we are working in the auto IoT and the InsurTech space. And we have a stellar in-house team to take care of all the technology aspects of our solution and looking to grow our team business-wise in various regions of the world. So what are we looking for coming here? Obviously, delighted to be here, looking to partner with QIC, DVP, to co-create certain solutions for the region, customize our use cases for the region and provide them. And also we're looking for strategic investment. We have done the heavy lifting in terms of our technology development. Our applications are live across different countries. And I think we're poised at the right time to grow that in different markets, and we need capital to do that. Our business model is B2B2C, where we're partnering with the dominant insurer or OEM in the region to bring scale to the platform. And our revenue model is essentially subscription and SaaS driven, which gives us a predictable, positive cash flow over a period of time. Also, a bit of word about the partners whom we have worked with through the mentoring sessions. Google Cloud, we're part of the Google for Startups Cloud program already, using some of their services as part of our production environment. We are also exploring using additional services as part of our technical architecture. And with Deloitte, we are happy to have their guidance to handhold us about the region in the insurance mobility space and look for collaboration. So I'll end here, and thanks again so much for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. That was a really crazy and good presentation. Fantastic data play. Thank you very much. And you have been sharp 8 minutes. So.
All right.
Great. Thank you. Next speaker will be a Qatari company, Droobi. Yeah, here you are. I've seen your pitch yesterday. This will be amazing. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. My name is Ayman Barry. I'm a co-founder at Droobi Health, and I'm excited to talk to you today about some of the work we've been doing over the past few years. Okay. All right. So first, to provide some context, 2 in every 7 adults in the MENA region suffers from some chronic condition. So like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, hypertension, obesity, and the list goes on. I'm sure for most of us, we know somebody in our life who struggles with one of these conditions. Okay. For me, it was in my family. So I have a very close experience with what very late stage, out of control diabetes looks like, and at the time what felt like every complication in the book that comes with it. Okay. And if bad health is not bad enough, it turns out that chronic disease patients are significantly more expensive to care for. Diabetics, as an example, pay more than double their cost in medical expenditures as compared with non-diabetics. Okay. So to combat the issue we have with a high prevalence of chronic disease in this region, we built the Droobi Care platform. This is the program that I wish that we had at the time that we had struggled, we had our struggles. Okay. So the Droobi platform incorporates artificial intelligence, digital coaching, smart technology and tools to track data from multiple sources, clinical guidelines, and behavioral science. Okay. All right. So here's an overview of how our system works. The first step is to collect data from multiple sources. Right? So multiple tools and devices, we can collect your historical data for your blood sugar levels, continuous and traditional glucose meters, from other platforms such as Apple Health and Google Fit, from your fitness trackers and so on. And based on all this information, we compile a single patient record. Okay? Now, once we have this uniform profile, the next step is to interpret the data. Now, the interpretation done by our algorithms doesn't just create a health profile for users, but also a behavioral profile based on the previous behavioral patterns we see in that information. Okay. So based on this assessment, the next thing our algorithm does is apply that information to trigger certain interventions to help people change their behavior. So this is the behavioral science component in our systems. Okay. So you get the right message, so you hear what you need to hear, at the right time, when you need to hear it, so that you can make the right decisions and the right choices with your actions. And that's how we change patient behavior and help them achieve better health outcomes. And at the end of this cycle, our system will then optimize to see what has been done, what was the effect, what are the changes, and take those new learnings into the next cycle. And so it continues. Okay. All right. So we currently have 2 products on the market. We have a patient-facing mobile application where users can track all their information and gain all their insights. And we have a clinician-facing web portal which allows for real-time remote patient monitoring. This is to be used by the doctors and the clinicians. And it also enables easy communication between your doctors, your patients, and your patients. So enrollment into our programs is very simple. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes. You can download the application. The first thing we ask you to do is to complete a brief survey. So you do a survey, you give it your basic profile information, you connect your devices and your data sources, and all that gets tracked into the application. Next, each patient will receive a customized, tailored plan based on their profile, their information, their goals, their health targets, and their needs. So this is a highly personalized plan for each individual. And once you receive your plan, you get to start with the program and you'll have access to all the key features on the application. Okay. And the first of which is access to a virtual care network. Now, this is not an AI or a chatbot. This is a real certified healthcare professional that is assigned to each individual in our programs. Okay. So patients can book virtual consultations with them. They can organize phone calls, or they can chat with them through an interface that works just like WhatsApp. The service is available on demand for all of our patients. Okay. Next, the application has a dashboard for all the smart tracking tools and all the data, so you can track everything into a single location and find all your insights easily on the application. And we have a database that we've designed and built specifically for the Middle East. So all of the regional and cultural foods that you wouldn't find elsewhere, you will be able to track in Droobi. For example, you can search haris or majboos or whatever the local cuisine will be, and the application will recognize it. And further to this, to make things easier, we've added an image recognition feature where you can just take a picture of the food. It will recognize more than 800 meals and give you back all the nutritional information of what you're tracking. Okay. Okay. And for each patient on the application, the system works to curate content individually and specifically for that user. So if you're diabetic versus if you're hypertensive, you need to learn and see different content and material. If you have type 1 diabetes versus type 2, it's a different story. If you're pregnant or not pregnant, and so on, with every different combination. Okay. So what I've just told you is that we have a platform. It takes 2 minutes to enroll. It will analyze, interpret, understand your data and your profile, and it will change your behavior to make you healthier. So the real question now is, does this actually work? I'm happy to say that today, we have the evidence to show that yes, actually, it works. For the 2nd year in a row, we've been published in the Journal of the American Diabetes Association showing the impacts and the effects that Droobi has on chronic disease patients. We had started a clinical trial with Hamad Hospital in 2018, demonstrating the effects of Droobi as compared with a group that follow the standard care and haven't been enrolled in the program. The results across the board are positive for those that use Droobi, better health outcomes achieved for diabetics. In 2018, we launched with the Primary Healthcare Corporation, supported by the Ministry of Public Health, and their independent analysis finds as well statistically significant results for those who use Droobi versus those that don't across the board, even for health metrics that we don't track on our systems. This is an independent study conducted by PHCC. And since 2017, we've been working with our partners in public and private healthcare to tweak and optimize our solution to achieve the best possible outcomes for our users. Okay. Today, we've enrolled more than 30,000 chronic disease patients onto our program across 34 health clinics and health centers across the region. Through the Primary Healthcare Corporation, we have nationwide distribution here in Qatar. We're also in Oman. We've had projects in Kuwait, and soon, inshallah, we'll be in the United Arab Emirates, starting in Abu Dhabi. Okay. We have a 90% customer satisfaction rate, and 84% of users who have been enrolled in Droobi have reported weight loss. Okay. Okay. So Droobi is not the first solution of its kind in the world, but we are the only digital therapeutic solution that is currently operational in MENA and tailored to the Arabic culture. Okay. When we benchmark Droobi across other significant comparable solutions based in North America, Europe, Southeast Asia, we find that Droobi stands shoulder to shoulder with them on almost every metric, on the level of service that we provide, and in some cases we exceed them in the clinical outcomes that we achieve. About our business model, we have a subscription and licensing model. We work with public and private healthcare providers to help them manage their patient base. We work with employers where droobi can be provided as a wellness program. A few of our notable clients include Uridu, Qatar Development Bank, and Qatar Foundation. We work with insurance providers to help them lower the costs of patient management because healthier patients are less expensive to care for. And we have a direct-to-consumer play where people can download the application directly, pay a small subscription fee, and get the same benefits and full access to the service. Okay. Of course. We're lucky with the team that we've compiled over the years. We have an in-house development team that's responsible for the technology that we have. We have an in-house medical team, which is in part responsible for the clinical outcomes that we've been able to achieve. And droobi would not have been possible without the effort of our co-founders, Noor Jandali and Abdullah Al-Misnad, and the support from the chairperson of our board, Dr. Hassa Al-Jaber. Okay. All right. So, the ask. We're not pitching for funding today. Alhamdulillah, we're in a good position when it comes to capital. But what we are looking for is strategic partnerships to help us grow droobi and expand. Okay. So we believe that there are synergistic opportunities between droobi and QIC as one of the leading insurance providers in the region, where droobi can reduce the costs by making your patients healthier. We also have some novel ideas about how droobi can be used in a way that will benefit QIC, QIC's customers, as well as droobi in a situation that it's a win-win-win scenario. Okay. So that's about me and about droobi. Thank you very much for your time. And if you'd like to learn more, I'll be around. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really emotional pitch. Thank you very much. This is great. So now we're going a bit away from Qatar and moving a bit 6 hours flight. Today, Julian, please come and tell us what you can do.
Thank you. I have the feeling I've been here before. Really strange. So, let's start with a picture. This is a health insurer, a French one, in 2021. Pretty scary. I took this picture myself. As you know now, I was an insurance supervisor, and after that, I built an actuarial company. If you go back to this picture, we should try to understand if this kind of company could easily onboard a large employees benefit plan, like 2,000 employees. I don't think so. You know, I have 3 kids, twins, 7-year-old, and a big one, 12-year-old, and I'm pretty sure that none of them will buy a guarantee to a company like that. So we are building ethic.com. We have been seed funded by 60 health insurers in France, and some of them are watching me right now, so I want to say thank you to them, and I value your trust, of course. And we have 2 main targets. Companies, because we want to onboard large health benefit plans, and as well individual with smart deductible to target self-employed workers, of course. We will be full mobile, full digital as well, and we want to set up a third-party payment. If you are insured, you don't have to pay. We will have an in-house claims handling system, and we want to reward good behavior. To example, if you are 50-year-old and you don't want to make a periodic checkup, we could step up a bit the price. Another example, if you want to lose weight, we can transform that into a kind of challenge. Let's imagine like we take the number of your weight, we remove 10 pounds, let's see each other in maybe 3 months, and if you win, we give you a reward. No money, but a kind of gift card, like maybe a free giant bucket at Kentucky Fried Chicken, maybe. Okay, you may think that we are not the first one. You are right, of course, yes, but we have specific strategy, okay? We do believe that we have to work on acquisition cost and on loss ratio, because there's a kind of golden rule in insurance. When you launch a company or a brand or a product, your first clients are often the worst risk profile of the market. So you will have bad loss ratio, about 90%. And we, of course, we have a B2B2C acquisition strategy because a B2C strategy is quite expensive. And I said it before, we really want to pay back our acquisition cost with the customer lifetime value, of course. We want to get profit back. So with this B2B2C strategy, we will have lower acquisition cost. And I have just an example. We already have a deal with McDonald's, with a big French McDonald's franchise. And believe me, they don't fund us on Google Ad. We did it the old way, okay, with meeting, phone calls, a lot of coffee. And it works. So we stick to this kind of strategy, B2B2C. And also, we do believe that we must do a lot of stuff ourselves because we don't want to outsource profits. That's why we will handle claims ourselves. It's really important to do it. To do so, we build a proprietary tool. Okay, with this tool we can automate a lot of things and accelerate the rest. We use machine learning to autofill some form. We monitor risk on a real-time basis, and we do even prudential calculation. And we have our own affiliation system to deploy a B2B2C strategy. This is not a project. This tool is live. We call it Juno. This is the name of an old Roman goddess, and she's a symbol of the money because her full name was Juno Moneta. That's why we call the money money. Okay, so money is of course a big concern for us, and yes, we care, and we want our client, our member, to stay with us, and we are working on churn ratio a lot. So we use basic stuff like a toll-free number. They can call us. Each member can reach his personal advisor if you have an issue. And we do that because we want to pay back, again, acquisition cost and to get some more profit. So if we have different products with good loss ratio, if we have low acquisition cost, and if we stick to this kind of strategy, we believe that we can get profit back. The market, we believe here there's great opportunities in GCC and as well in France, but to target this market in GCC, we really need a friend, and we would be really excited to do in business with QIC, of course, because we would need a reinsurer, we need to be backed up, we need a real sparring partner, of course, and a network. How much do we ask? We have two options, the big one and the small one. The small one, we would be a broker, and in this case, we would need maybe 3 million. If we want to be a full stack insurer, we have to comply with the local regulation. And here we have to make a cash deposit of 10 million, and we will need a bit more to grow. After that, we have a lot of ideas, and we have a lot of international brands to target wisely each market, okay? So after us, we can work the home market and the renters market and mobility market with a great brand like Streety. So guys, join us, and let's see how high this rocket can fly.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you very much. This was a nice speech. Really, well done. Okay, I know we have been hard on you. There are 2 more pitches. Please stay with us. Yeah, I think they deserve to be seen. Next company is Proton. Welcome on the stage and all the best. Yeah.
First of all, good morning and salam alaikum. Before I start my pitch, I want to raise a question. How many of you believe that your insurance is fairly priced when you buy personal insurance for yourself? I think, Mahinder, that validates our, fantastic. There are a few. And how many of you believe that your insurance was rewarding if you are a good customer? Our business plan is validated in Qatar as well. Thank you. So we are a Proton. We are building a digital insurer, revolutionizing personal insurance on personalized behavior-based pricing. And we are starting with motor insurance, which is helping you to build your risk profile and get rewarded once you are build a good profile for yourself. Now, in the motor and auto insurance space, typically in the region, which is around $11 billion worth of premiums, you see 75% loss ratio among the insurers across the region. It hovers around plus minus 5%, but typically it's range around 75% loss ratio. And this loss is caused by 25% of the drivers. So 75% of drivers are paying the hefty price of the losses made by 25% people. Right? And till today, insurers are insuring the car insurance basis the specifications of the car, not the personal factors, which are core attributes of losses. Like 60% road accidents happen because of distracted driving or speeding. And these are personal factors, which nobody is mining in as of today. And these personal factors are the causes of loss for that 75%. So, I mean, there are solutions around it, like telematics or connected car. OBD devices have come in. But they have their own key challenges, like regulatory challenges, like operational challenges. I mean, typically what happens, people, when the car is fitted with a dongle or a chip, people pull it out and throw it away. And then there are financial challenges and installation challenges. So, I mean, if you look at it, there has been a solution around which insurers have tried their hand on from many, many years, but they have failed. Or they couldn't achieve the objectives what they can do in terms of personal pricing for motor insurance. Then we came up with the idea of Proton, and that's how we built Proton. Video, please. Proton is actually is going to Proton is a mobile app which has been developed to give you permissions, or rather take permissions from you to actually grab the data of your driving behavior. What it does is it captures certain behaviors like speeding, acceleration, distraction while driving, when you are distracted, texting, on whatnots. So what's the problem? Okay, cool. So, I mean, what we build in, when you download the app, you provide certain permissions, and then we are on. We at the back end, we capture your driving behavior and build our data models to price you on your insurance. And what we've done is, excuse me. So Proton has been developed to, and we've launched it in UAE, Dubai. We've been working from 1st of April. We've been working with various partners across UAE, partners like Kafu, Kareem, Policy Bazaar, who's selling or distributing our product. We've captured around 500,000 kilometers of driving data, which is helping us drive the business model around it. And we are backed by the reinsurers like Scotty, which is supporting us in our risk capacity in terms of pricing the product. We have a fronting insurer as of now in the UAE market, and we are planning to expand in other markets because our reinsurer is keen to take us to the couple of other markets as well. So it's a driving reward program which offers you on a daily basis. Using Proton is pretty easy. You just download the app from Apple App Store or Google Play, sign up, and then you allow certain permissions for location and motion. You will get you will have that ability to grab that data, and then we will start pricing that data for you. Like I talked about, we have product partners like SCORE, which is helping us on the capacity side. We have Badri, who's helping us on the actuarial side. We have Shields and these other mobility partners we've worked with. Our growth story, we've launched from 1st of April, and in 12 weeks, we've done 1,050 policies around. 70% of our customers, as we speak today, love to share their data because in exchange of data sharing, they get rewards. So we have $5,000 of GWP per day coming in, and the daily active users or monthly active users ratio is way too huge, wherein 70% are active on our app on a daily basis, which is 11 sessions per month per user per month we are getting in. We score on a slab-based, categorized basis. If you are 80 and above, you get very good discounts, maximum rewards. We have a range of 50 to 80, which is standard premium. If you're less than 50 in terms of your scoring, we get score. If they're less than 50, premium loading, and you are getting a restricted reward setup. Our business model, 25% of our revenue comes in from reinsurance commission, which is the chunk of the revenue. We have a 10% acquisition cost. And we claim to have around 75% of retention, retaining our customers year-on-year basis, 75, as big as, because typically in the region it is around 25 to 30% by insurers. We work on a gross margin of 40%. This is our market size. 11 billion is GCC market size of car insurance, of which the segmented market we are looking at is 5 billion, and the operating market we are going to work on is around 500 million, which is the expats and the new drivers, which are seeing a shift happening in this kind of a usage-based insurance. Our ask is we are raising around of $2.5 million to build out our motor UBI offerings. Our split of the ask is here on the screen. It's around 45% to 25% in product development and technology, and 30% would go in the marketing side of it. That's going to take us on a runway of 18 months. We'll add around 25,000 customers, and this ask is for UAE and one market. Our team is capable of having superb execution capabilities. I come from a solid insurance background of around 23 years of Wellx. My partner Mahinder is from a highly digital background. He comes from a powerful venture building setups as well. And our core team, the engineering and data science team, is powerful enough to actually take us there. And that's all about it. Thank you so much. I hope I was well on time.
I was on time. Perfect. Thank you very much for the presentation. Really interesting. Really interesting. We're now coming to the last one. A Qatari startup. Rimats, Mohamed, where are you? Here. We have missing. Welcome on the stage.
Thank you.
You're the last startup here to present. Let's see what you're getting out of it. But I know your pitch is really energizing. Do you need the clicker? Yeah, clicker.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
I am Mohammed, the founder and CEO of Avey and the computer science professor at Carnegie Mellon. So to begin with, I am really so glad to be with you today. I know most of you are tired now. This is the last session, but I am here to tell you about Avey, which aims at empowering the world with an innovative healthcare solution that changes lives. The story of Avey started when my son Ahmed fell sick with a chronic illness. My wife Ahmed and I went through a very difficult health journey that made Ahmed hope for someone who could make him better. He drew this original mascot that you see in front of you, and it was right after then when Avey was brought to life. Ahmed is not alone. Millions of people all over the world struggle with health issues, and it's a common practice among them to turn daily to the web for health. For instance, 80% in Australia and 67% in USA search online for health info and treatment advice. 50% of patients globally use search engines like Google and Bing for self-diagnosis before visiting emergency rooms. But we all know that search engines, sorry for Google, search engines are not diagnostic systems. On the flip side, AI self-diagnostic algorithms can diagnose patients instantly. However, they will only be acceptable by you and me and any person if they can perform accurately. Enter Avey. Avey empowers patients with an accurate AI self-diagnostic algorithm that took more than 3.5 years of extensive in-house R&D. In front of you is an actual real-world visualization of Avey's artificial intelligence model in action. Avey currently covers all the major body systems, including cardiology, neurology, and hematology, to mention just a few, and is continuously evolving literally on a daily basis. It was proven scientifically most recently to be the most accurate in the world, especially against international popular solutions like ADA in Germany, Babylon in the UK, and Boy & K Health in the US. We launched Avey in a form of an app mid-last year, and it's currently in over 175 countries with a retention rate that exceeded 30%. Let me now tell you the full health journey as provided by Avey. Think of Avey more broadly as a virtual clinic that can check your symptoms instantly and accurately, connect you with the right doctors, prescribe medicines for you, process your claims, and allow you to commune with like-minded people. To elaborate, say you want to self-diagnose with Avey. You input your chief complaint, then based on that complaint, Avey forms a medical hypothesis and starts mimicking clinical reasoning by conducting an interactive session with you, asking you several questions before he provides you with an accurate diagnosis. The entire process, from start to end, takes 2 minutes. And even if millions self-diagnose with Avey, Avey will respond to all immediately, even if they actually self-diagnose in parallel with Avey. You can then educate yourself with your diagnosis and go with Avey's recommendation, which was in this case to contact a general surgeon. You click on connect, then based on your diagnosis and the expertise of doctors on that particular diagnosis, which Avey keeps learning about continuously, Avey is going to recommend the most suited doctor for your case. In addition, he will reduce the waiting time on you to see those doctors and alleviate the pressure on the national healthcare systems. You can then schedule a physical or a virtual appointment with any of those doctors. If it's a virtual appointment, we provide doctors at hospitals with an app that allows them to provide you with a virtual consultation and prescribe medicines to you, as you can see digitally. The digital prescription shows up automatically on Avey. You make the purchase, and then the prescription gets automatically forwarded to our pharmaceutical e-commerce platform that was fully built in-house and uniquely allows collecting medicines of one order from multiple pharmacies, especially if there is no single pharmacy in the country that can fulfill your order. Then put all your medicines in one bag and deliver to you wherever you are in the country within 2 hours. For insurers, we identified several common scenarios. For instance, the patient may feel unwell, but from a medical perspective, they are not ill. Nonetheless, they visit a doctor, and the insurer pays for that unnecessary visit. If the insurer asks the patient to self-diagnose with Avey beforehand, Avey is going to recommend no visit for this case, and as such, will save the money on the insurer. Similar logic applies to several other common scenarios. For 2 of those scenarios, Avey is going to try to entirely avoid the claims. And for the remaining scenarios, in our most recent experimental deployment, Avey was able to reduce the number of claims by 22%. In addition, Avey is able to process literally millions of claims in a blink of an eye, in less than 1 second, and detect frauds using artificial intelligence. Health-conscious people and patients can also come on Avey and exchange ideas and thoughts and experiences on health and lifestyle, because we want them to live all healthier and happier. To the best of my knowledge, the virtual clinic concept with the 5 features that I just presented to you is currently, at the moment, the most comprehensive and advanced health tech solution in the world. It benefits all stakeholders. For instance, patients now will get lower diagnostic errors, lower waiting times, and much more. Providers are going to get increased efficiencies in bookings, rebookings, cancellations, confirmations, no-show management, all provided by Avey, and much more. Insurers are going to get reduced number and value of claims, reduced frauds, to mention just a few. As for the business model, the check and commute features are free for patients. You can try them now. For the connect and cure features, they involve a transaction fee on the providers, and the claim feature involves a subscription fee on the insurers. Connect and the claim are still pre-revenue, and the cure is currently generating revenue. We raised so far in a pre-seed and seed financing rounds close to $5 million, and established a product market fit with more than 60 local providers, including Al Imadi Hospital and Ali bin Ali Medical, to mention just a few. And we are currently at Series A. Once we close Series A, we're going to build a base of 500,000 local active users. In addition, we're going to onboard 200 more healthcare providers and capture 1 to 3% of the local pharmaceutical market. In addition, we will start building a base of more than 3 million users in Oman, UAE, and Saudi Arabia through our self-diagnostic algorithm before we start penetrating those markets physically through our other features, and start penetrating at least one of those markets physically through our other features, all within 12 to 16 months before we hit Series B. Our team, I'm so proud of my team, actually is unique. Coming from all over the world, from different places, top-notch places like Carnegie Mellon, Miguel, L'Oreal, and Deloitte, to mention just a few. And here is the team in action. Thank you so much.
Right on clock. Thank you. Right on clock. Thank you.